In the old district of Jerusalem, between narrow alleys where jasmine and fresh bread filled the air each evening, lived a shoemaker named Levi. He was kind, hardworking, and quiet. Every day from dawn till dusk, he worked in a tiny workshop near the wall of the Sinai synagogue, fixing soles, gluing worn leather, and hammering heels back in place. Levi lived with his parents and younger sister. His mother was a commanding woman who always spoke in a raised voice, used to having the final say. His father, quiet and withdrawn, had never been the same after an illness stole his strength and fragments of his memory. His sister, beautiful and sharp-tongued, behaved like life was her stage, loud, dramatic, and often dismissive. And then there was his wife, Hannah, chosen by his mother, who declared, "Levi's too soft. He needs a woman with a strong hand." And Hannah was strong, in voice, in glance, in word. Each morning began with reproach.
Up so late again?
His mother would yell from the kitchen.
Look at yourself. What kind of man are you?
Added his wife.
Do you really think I want to live with a failure?
His sister would whisper as she passed. Levi ate in silence, walked to his workshop, and found refuge there. In the smell of leather, the rhythm of tools, and the echo of footsteps outside. He wasn't a coward. He just feared losing what little he had, even if that little hurt. One day, an old man entered the workshop. He held a worn-out shoe in his hand and looked as though he had walked through 100 lifetimes. His eyes were clear, his beard silver, and his voice steady.
"Can you fix it?"
He asked, handing Levi the shoe.
"I'll try,"
said Levi.
"but the leather's so old."
"Old leather isn't always bad,"
the man smiled.
"It just needs the right warmth."
He didn't leave, but sat quietly on a bench watching Levi work. After a few minutes, he asked,
"You're a quiet one. Why is that?"
Levi shrugged.
"My family says I'm too sensitive, that I need to toughen up, but I don't want to be hard, and they don't like that."
"So you choose silence."
Better silence than hearing, again and again, that I'm not enough.
The old man nodded.
"Do you know how ropes are made? They take 3 fragile strands and twist them into one. Alone, each would snap. Together, they hold weight. But if one strand begins to rot, the whole rope weakens. It is the same with family. If someone constantly poisons you with words or with silence, love alone cannot save you. Love begins to rot too."
Levi froze.
But they're my family. Can I really walk away?
Leaving does not always mean abandoning. Sometimes it means preserving. A soul is like a bird. You can keep it in a cage and feed it daily. But if that cage is built from pain and fear, even honeyed bread will taste bitter.
What should I do then?
Levi asked.
Start by understanding. Why do you let them hurt you? What are you truly afraid of?
After a long silence, Levi replied,
Fear, that I will be alone without them, that maybe they are right, that maybe I really am weak.
The old man rose and placed a hand on Levi's shoulder.
If you die a little each day just to stay near them, then you are already alone.
Then he turned to leave, but before stepping out, he said,
Come to Temple Mount at sunset this Friday. I will show you something.
Levi hesitated, but on Friday he went. The old man waited near a spice shop.
Come,
he said.
Today you will understand something.
They walked down into a cellar. Among lamps and scrolls was a small room with a wooden window. The old man opened the shutters and sunlight streamed in. On the windowsill stood a cage. Inside, a bird, gray with a soft shimmer of blue, stared out.
She was born here, the man said. They fed her, called her little one, taught her to sing. But they never opened the door. She lived by someone else's rules. When her owner moved away, they left her with me.
Levi watched, still uncertain.
You do not have to stay in a cage just because you are being fed. Sometimes when people hurt you, it is not out of cruelty, but because of their own unhealed pain. But that pain does not have to become yours.
The man reached for the latch and opened the cage door.
I could have done this earlier,
he said quietly.
But I wanted you to see it.
The bird did not move. It tilted its head slightly. Then it stepped forward to the very edge.
Is she afraid?
Levi asked.
No,
the man said.
she just does not understand what is happening. Freedom is not a command, it is a memory, not of the past, but of what is written deep inside her being.
They stood in silence. Then, suddenly, the bird spread her wings and flew out the window, smooth, certain, as if she had always known how. Levi watched until she vanished beyond the rooftops.
Now, do you understand?
The old man asked. Levi nodded slowly, deeply, like something within him had finally begun to shift.
But if I leave, won't they suffer?
They are already suffering. Pain inside always spills outward. Your task is to break the chain, not out of hate, but out of love for yourself, for them.
But I love them.
Levi whispered.
Love does not mean silence when you are in pain. Let them meet the real you, not the one who swallows every insult to keep peace, but the one who says, I am hurting. I cannot live like this anymore.
A week later, Levi packed his things. He did not shout. He did not blame. He simply stood and said,
I am tired of being a stranger in my own home. I still love you, but I have to find myself before I disappear completely.
He looked at Hannah. For the first time, he did not flinch under her gaze.
You do not have to come with me, but if you want, maybe we can try again. No shouting, no endless dissatisfaction, just two people trying to be happy together.
Hannah sat down, quiet for once.
I acted like the head of the house because I was scared. Scared that you could not handle it, that you were too soft for this burden. But now I see you, strong, certain, and maybe I am ready to let go, to trust you, to share the weight.
They rented a small flat, second-hand furniture, a teapot for one, books from a street library. Levi worked, Hannah began baking, and it turned out she was gifted. Month by month, things shifted. Levi grew more confident. People began to call his workshop the place where shoes come to life. He hired a helper. Hannah opened a tiny bakery. The sign outside read, Hannah and Levi. On Saturdays, they visited his parents. No accusations, no resentment, just adults with boundaries. His mother softened, his father smiled more. Even his sister held back her usual barbs. And one evening, on their little balcony, Hannah said,
When you told me you were leaving, that is when I truly saw you. And I knew I did not want to lose the real Levi.
He smiled.
I cannot become myself without you. But first I had to learn to speak, and you had to learn to listen.
High above Jerusalem in the golden light of sunset, a bird soared through the sky, the one who found herself and never lost her love for those who once held her.